What's up, everybody? I am going to call Rosemary Becchi, who is running for Congress in the 11th District of New Jersey, the congressional district I live in. I called her office over a week ago and requested an interview to ask some questions about her very authoritarian, pro Zionist, pro police, pro military platform, and I didn't get any response. I spoke to somebody who sounded like a young woman there who really didn't have a grasp on what the hell she's working for, and I doubt the message got to Madam Rosemary, but I'm gonna call her now. I'll put it on speakerphone, and I'm specifically going to ask whomever I'm able to talk to about her fealty to Israel, about the fear mongering she's been driving with her mailers about chaos and anarchy in New York City. Here's one right here. That picture wasn't even taken in New York. It's a stock photo. And then this one came today. I thought it was Kellyanne Conway's mom. So, anyway, we're going to call Rosemary right now. I'm going to call Rosemary right now and see if anybody will even attempt to answer the few questions I have. Because people like her, people like Mikey Sherrill, who's running for the Democratic ticket, they are the hyper militarists next door, the hyper militarized police advocates next door. And they're posing like they care about our rights, about justice, about anti racism, but they are completely full of shit. So I'm going to call Rosemary now and call her out as much as I can, because that is our job as activists. If you're a journalist, that should be your fucking job. That should be what you're doing. Not sitting in the White House press pool begging for Donald Trump's acceptance of your milk toast question. So here we go.
Rosemary Becchi for Congress office. How may I help you?
Hi, can I speak to Rosemary, please?
May I ask who's calling?
My name is Jesse, and I am a citizen of the 11th District, and I'd like to ask her a few questions about her platform.
Hold on. Hi, sorry about that. If you email info@beckyforcongress.com, we can forward the questions right to her and she can answer them.
Well, I called the office a little over a week ago and requested to speak with her, and I was told that I would get a return call or email, and that hasn't happened. So I don't want to go through that pointless process again. Is there a PR person perhaps I can speak to?
Let me see. Hold on a second.
They're running a tight ship. I wonder if I sent them into crisis mode. Somebody's actually questioning us? Any day now. Sorry you have to look at me sit here idly while one of Rosemary's functionaries figures out how to put out this little fire that I intend to cause.
Hi, this is Audrey Lane. I'm Rosemary's campaign manager. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How are you? My name is
I'm
Jesse.
great.
So,
What can I do for you?
I have a few questions about Rosemary's platform, and I was hoping I
Okay.
could get some more clarification and maybe
Sure.
some answers to a few questions I have about some of her platform points.
Sure, sure. Do you live in the district?
Yes, I do.
Where do you live?
I currently live in Nutley.
Awesome. She's
So,
been out in Nutley a couple of times, so that's great.
I'm sorry?
I said she's been out in Nutley a couple times. It's a wonderful community. Actually, my uncle used to live there.
Okay.
Where do you? Yeah. What part of Nutley do you live in?
I live near Center Street.
Okay.
I guess that's kind of vague. I live on Freeman Place.
Okay. No, I mean you don't have to tell me. I was just curious.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I just have a few questions,
Okay.
and
Hopefully I can answer
and I
answer them for you.
and I know that she's that Rosemary is running against Mikey Sherrill, and
Correct.
I am not a Mikey Sherrill supporter by any means. I have nothing to do with her.
Okay.
I don't really want anything to do with her, but My first question is about Rosemary's across the board support for Israel, which is a criminal state that's committing war crimes and crimes against humanity against the Palestinian population and occupied captive Palestinian population. Why is she so supportive of such a brutal, murderous entity?
Well, that's a very leading question, right? So clearly you have a view on it.
It's not
She
it's
does
not
support
leading. It's not leading.
Hmm?
Those are
No, it's
facts.
not. No, I mean, she does support. She supports Israel, but I know she's answering a lot of questions about this tonight in her call with the Jewish Federation. Um, and I will be perfectly honest, I'm her campaign manager, but I don't know all of her policy inside and out, and particularly foreign policy. That is not my strength. So I don't want to pretend that I am and give you any information that's not true. Um, but I can certainly ask her and send you an email back with something more specific. But I will tell you that yes, she supports Israel. That's as far as I can go. I don't want to speak for her.
Well, yeah, she's very clear, or it's very clear on her website
Yeah.
that she does.
Yep.
But why is she doing so when it's such an obvious crime against humanity? It's illegal under international law what Israel is doing, and why does she make these claims that we owe them some kind of fealty and that they're the only democracy in the Middle East? They're not a democracy. They've declared themselves a Jewish state. Trump unilaterally moved the embassy to Jerusalem against much international disagreement, and Israel has annexed the Golan Heights in Syria and has named them Trump Heights. Why would anybody with a conscience support that?
Well, I know she has a conscience. I've worked with her for a while, so I do know that. And I'm happy to look into it. You know a lot more about this topic than I do. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Like I said, I really don't want to speak for her. Bear with me. Yeah.
So
So
you're her campaign manager, but you don't have full knowledge of what she stands for.
no, no, I don't. I don't know her policy and I think most campaign managers would not. Campaign managers were running the campaign. She develops her policy. There are certain policy coalitions that I've been a part of, but I'm one person. I can't do it all, and I have not been part of her foreign policy. She has another team for that.
Okay. Is there somebody on that team I could speak to?
Um, Not right now, actually. They're not in this office. She has a team that is actually from around the country on that one. So no, but I'm happy to either have Rosemary call you back or follow up on an email. But I don't want to speak for her on this.
Okay. And I received a mailer for her campaign that has a photo of a burning car, and it says the chaos in New York City is threatening to spread into our New Jersey neighborhoods. The photo I know for a fact is a stock photo that was not taken in New York, and I'm wondering why she's pursuing this fear mongering pro police policy.
The mailer with the burning car on it. It doesn't say. I mean, let me pull it up. I've got it on my desk somewhere. It doesn't say that it's spreading. It says there's a concern, right?
No,
And yeah, we use
it
stock
says it says it's
photography.
it says it's threatening to spread into our New Jersey neighborhoods.
Oh,
And
well, yeah, I stand by that for sure. And
well,
I think people use stock photography all the time, mostly because this campaign doesn't have, um, the money that Mikey Sherrill's is. So to actually create an image like that would cost us a lot of money. We just don't have it.
well, don't you
So
think
I
that's
don't mind using stock photography.
but don't you think that's disingenuous since I have
Um,
no knowledge of cars that were set on fire in New York, do you?
Yeah, people are looting.
I
Yeah,
remember seeing police SUVs drive into human beings, but I haven't seen a
I
burning
don't remember
car.
that at all.
You don't remember the SUV driving
No,
into? Okay. Wow. Interesting.
no, I didn't see anything like that at all.
Okay. Well, I recommend looking it up because it happened and that's what she's
I'll look it
supporting.
up. You should look up cars on fire then in the city. A lot of things, and then all the businesses that were destroyed on Fifth Avenue, the rioting and the looting. I mean, it's a shame. You know, there are a lot of people in this district that are very concerned about it, and you know, it's something that Rosemary is hearing on the campaign trail. We didn't actually just pick that topic out of the blue. It's something that everyone, not almost every conversation that she has when she's on, you know, walking around, meeting people and talking to people, it's something that comes up. Law and order is a really important piece of her campaign, and it's a really big interest to people that she's talking to right now.
Who is she talking
That's why
to?
we're talking about it.
Who is she
People in the
talking to?
district.
Who are concerned? Who are the people who are concerned? I mean, police are murdering people in the street in broad
Her
daylight.
name is like Mary, Susie, Tom, people she meets every weekend when she's out talking to people. People she meets on Zoom calls. People that, you know, come into the office are volunteers. People in the district. Yeah.
But police are violence workers. They're murdering people in the streets in broad daylight
Oh,
on camera.
totally disagree on that one. No.
You disagree
No.
on that one. Did you see the George Floyd?
100%.
Did you see the George Floyd
100%. Her
video?
grandfather was a police officer, so that's personally offensive. Yes.
That's not offensive, and I'm sorry.
It's 100% offensive.
And I'm sorry, but not sorry to tell you, I'm offended is not an argument. Did you see the video of George Floyd getting murdered?
I did. That
Okay.
was very unfortunate. I think if you ask most police officers, they'll agree. Very unfortunate. But they're perfectly wonderful people who flip a switch, or you know, they're bad. They're bad at their job, or they're, you know, like they're bad people out there. And the person, the officer who killed him, he did a bad job, and justice system will come out and get him. I promise you.
Yeah. Well, he was just released on $1 million bail from
That's part of the process. He'll get back to jail.
A bail company in New Jersey, non-cash bail, while
He'll go back to jail.
while
Trust me.
while millions of
But that's not my
black
job. That's not your
Americans
job. That's no justice
millions of
system.
black Americans are languishing in prison because they can't afford cash bail. But this guy who murdered somebody in broad daylight on camera, he's able to get out on a non-cash $1 million bail. How is that a system that has anything to do with justice, and why is that a system that should be supported?
Thanks. What's wrong with it, Tina? Okay. Are there any other questions I can answer for you? I'm getting ready to walk into a meeting.
No, no other
Hello?
questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for taking the time to call.
What's your name again? Your first name?
Audrey.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it. It's offensive to question proto-fascist authority, but it isn't. And to anyone who says so, fuck you.